Alright, hello and welcome to Medal of Honor Airborne, the speedrun.
Jumping out of an airplane is one of the safest things a man can do, provided he follows proper procedure.
So, there's some very basic .ini file modification that we use for this game. There are a lot of settings in the file that is possible to change, but we only allow for this one change. Basically, we add some command binds to the use action to skip cutscenes and stuff like that, because the way they coded this game is that they did not give you a keybind for skipping cutscenes or skipping mission briefings or any of that kind of thing by default. But only for like a mouse and keyboard. If you had a controller plugged in, you're able to use that, and the commands are like built into the game, but they're just like not assigned to any key. So basically, we do that right off the beginning. Set that up. It's pretty easy. There's only one line of code that we have to modify, and that'll allow us to skip all the cutscenes pending the fact that we have done a full run of the game on that machine before. Because the cutscenes are not skippable unless you've actually completed the level with completing like all objectives and everything like that before, which is kind of weird. Now the first level here is training. There's nothing really important to pay attention to in this level. I kind of landed on these objects because that causes the game to continue just a little bit faster than it normally would, and so I did that so that I could save, fractions of a second on this level overall, based on just like rather than just like landing on the ground or anything like that. This first level coming up, however, is where we get to the main tricks, and I'm going to try to explain them as we go. There's a lot of random aspects to the first couple of levels, this first level in particular, and I'm going to try and explain that when we see it. So, there we go. So, I skipped a cutscene there, and then I skipped, it's kind of like an in-game cutscene where you can look around and stuff like that, but it's not actually a full cutscene. Unfortunately, it only works for the beginning cutscenes, and then we have a trick to skip the ending cutscenes as well, but any mid-level cutscenes are unfortunately unskippable right now. So, I'm going to grease my landing here, which is basically I hold forward right as I land, and that allows me to use my weapon immediately and everything like that. Alright, so this is some of the RNG that I was talking about. This is the worst location that you can have a charge appear for this particular AA turret. There are like 3 or 4 locations per turret that it can appear on. That one is bad because it's facing all the enemies. If you have it facing away, then you can just use it and ignore all the enemies and just place it real quick. This one was okay. Alright, so once that's done, I'm going to run and drop down here. And now I'm going to be running past a ton of enemies. You can see a lot of enemies are shooting me. It doesn't really matter too much. I've got 2 pieces of health that I can pick up here in case I lose some. But the health regenerates pretty quickly as long as you don't lose a full bar. Alright, so coming up here, this is the 3rd AA turret. I'm going to throw a grenade in there, cook it a little bit in hopes of distracting these guys, and then throw another one. That kind of distracts them and hopefully causes them to not be able to shoot me. This was a really good location, by the way. Now I'm going to wait for that to blow up, and as soon as it does, I'm actually going to reload checkpoint. The way the checkpoint system in this game works is that it always starts you in the air, except for a very few select locations it starts you on the ground. So because of this, I can reload checkpoint, and right after my objective is complete, it gives me a checkpoint. I can reload in air, and then I can very quickly move across the map. Sometimes it's actually slower than just running, but depending on health, it's more useful to just reload because it gives you full health and full ammunition for your, a full clip rather. That doesn't necessarily give you full ammunition. Alright, so now, I'm just going to run right through here, ignore all these enemies. There are quite a few of them. I'm actually keeping my Thompson out. I'll be talking about what weapons we hold out a little bit later, But for now, I'm keeping my Thompson out because there are oftentimes tons of enemies like this who attack and are in bad positions. Alright, so I'm going to throw a grenade there. That's to distract the enemy and allow me to place this charge, which once you've placed your fourth charge, you get a little bit of a cutscene here that you cannot skip or anything. So, to explain how running in this game works, the pistol and grenades, if you hold them, you run faster, quite significantly faster than with any other weapon. So that's why you typically want to switch your weapons. However, because there were a ton of enemies there and I wanted to make sure that I'd be able to kill them, and switching weapons takes time, it's more useful to run with the Thompson out because it's not that far of a distance. But for this area, I'm actually just going to run past all the enemies here. Hopefully I don't get shot too much. Looks to be pretty good. And I'm just running with my grenade. Grenade and pistol seem to have pretty much the exact same timing, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. It's just personal preference. I prefer to use the grenade. So. Alright, we've got another cutscene now. Pretty much no action in between. I didn't have to attack any enemies or anything like that. He's going to explain a little bit about the enemies that we're fighting, but it doesn't really matter. I'm actually going to go to another cutscene in just a little bit. I'm going to run straight there. I may kill one enemy on the way, depending on if he's standing in my way and actually physically blocks me. But if not, then I'm probably just going to run right straight to the next cutscene. And then we're going to get back to the killing. Dialogue in this game is actually quite funny. My favorite dialogue is on the second level, and I'll mention it when we come to it. Alright, so it doesn't matter if I take any health damage or anything here, really. I'd like to have full health, but it's not necessary. There's health right here that I can grab, and as soon as I run up the stairs, another cutscene is activated. This one's a little bit shorter than the other two, so we should be able to get back into the combat really quick. However, this next section here with the sniper, there's one enemy that we have to snipe in this opposing building, and that can go very good or very bad. He'll run between like the 3 random windows, sometimes just like you'll miss even though you should be like hitting him, stuff like that. It's very difficult and very frustrating. So I'm going to pick that up here and we're going to zoom in. Unfortunately, he's being mean. So as you can see, I totally should have hit him there. There we go, that's better. I think he actually flinched from my shot hitting him, but I can't tell. Anyway, that guy can be standing in one of the windows already, or he can, pop out immediately, or you can just kind of like hide for 30 seconds. It's just completely random, no control over it. Alright, but once you kill him, which it only takes one proper shot to kill him, and so hopefully it doesn't take too long, then we have just 3 objectives left for the level, and then we are going to be moving on to the next one. And the objectives are all right here next to each other. There's health there that I could have grabbed. I missed it. Completely my fault. That's the first officer right there that I have to kill out of 3. Just going to ignore all these enemies here. Hit this guy. And now there is one more officer. And as soon as I kill him, I'm going to be doing another trick immediately afterward. Alright, I'm going to kill him. As soon as he's dead, I'm just going to reload checkpoint, and with that, because that was the final goal of the level, we are actually skipping the ending cutscene completely and able to move on to the second level immediately, which is very nice. This level is one of my favorite levels. It's got a lot of movement optimization and everything like that. And hopefully I'll be able to show it off well. So first things first, I'm actually going to turn around here and drop down towards the ground here. There's a fuel tank right there. I actually want to land on it. I want to grease my landing on the edge of it. Unfortunately that failed. Not a big deal. I'm just going to stay standing up here, and I'm going to try and hopefully take out the fuel tank in one clip. That's very good if you can, and I was able to do so, and then take out this other one in one clip and just switch to my stick grenade. Now I'm running to the I guess third objective, but it's really the second objective of the level. Once again, I'm going to be running past pretty much every enemy, only going to kill him if absolutely necessary. This guy's kind of in the way, so I'm just going to swing and just murder him. Same with that guy. And run through here, place this charge real quick, and now I'm just waiting for it to explode once again. And as soon as it explodes, bam, reload checkpoint, and this is going to put us back up in the air. The reason we do this is because it's slightly faster than running out of the area. Plus, it makes sure that we have full health, which wasn't a huge deal there, but it's still nice. So now I'm going to come over to the right here and grease my landing. This kind of pathing here is a little bit of personal preference. The other runners tend to jump off a different pillar than I do coming up here. There's a pillar over there and a pillar right here. We're going to actually be jumping onto the truck from the pillar. I like this one a little bit better. I think it's easier. So that's the one that I do. Anyway, I'm going to get onto the nose of the truck, look forward, sprint, and jump. And we get over this gate. You're not supposed to be able to do that. So now I can just shoot the lock off of that thing there and knock that down. And then run through here. There's an enemy in here that I gotta kill. Then I want to take out each of these things here, and then there's an antenna up top that I want to take out. So that was successful, very quick, able to do that. I'm just going to ignore the remainder of the enemies here, and we're going to be coming up on a cutscene very shortly. I'm going to stop over here, grab ammo, even though I probably won't really need it, but it's better to be safe than sorry. As soon as I land in here, I'm going to switch back to my assault rifle and start reloading. Because the reload animation goes through cutscenes and stuff like that, so pretty useful. So the next upcoming section, there's going to be an arena fight, kind of. Basically, there's a bunch of enemies in this arena, and we have to kill them. It's an ambush. So if you end up taking too long killing these enemies, another wave will actually spawn, and you'll have to fight a ton more than you normally would have to, which can be very unfortunate, but we're in a speedrun, we want to go fast. So we are going to instead just run straight up here, and we are going to take out all 5 enemies as quickly as possible. That's the first 3 right there. Just going to reload my weapon and head over here. It's number 4, number 5. As soon as they are all dead, we are good for that. I'm going to switch back to my grenade for this brief little run here. Alright, and reload my gun in the cutscene again, hopefully. I might have missed it. This is my favorite dialogue in the level. I'll let you listen to the majesty of this dialogue.
Airborne guys sure know how to fight. Care to join us? Fire in the hole! I guarantee you, it'll be a blast.
Just love that line right there. Alright. So now, we're going to see if my gun is reloaded. Hopefully it is. It is not. Not a big deal. I'm just going to reload it. It doesn't matter if I walk here or anything. The enemy spawns in this next area are a little bit random. I seem to have gotten the good enemy spawns. So I'm just going to run around the left-hand side. Sometimes enemies can spawn there and come attack you. I'm just going to get a grenade and toss it right there real quick. Just ignore all of these enemies as best I can. I want to jump up here, up here, and up here. Ooh, wow, that was really lucky timing. So once I got up here, I actually got a checkpoint. I could reload checkpoint for health, but I'm not going to. See if I can make this. There's actually health right here that I'm going to grab. Alright. So I want to throw my grenade there, cook it a little bit to hopefully take out these guys as best as possible. Grab this health and plant the charge. Somewhat of a bad location, but not a huge deal. Now I do have full health, luckily. So I'm just going to ignore the majority of the enemies here as best I can. Sometimes they might kill me, and I want to blow up that. Oh, unfortunate. That could have been quite fast if that hadn't happened, but it's not a big deal. I got that first barrel, which is really the important part. So I'm going to go back up top here and run to the right here, and the other barrel that I had to destroy is right there. As soon as the barrel is destroyed, I can reload checkpoint, and I'm done with that level. So, as you can see, that could have been a little bit faster, probably about 15, 17 seconds faster or so. Alright, so I'm going to change weapons for the first time right here. Back to the Thompson. I'm going to be using the Thompson throughout the whole run. It's the most useful weapon starter because it's the default for many of the levels, and then we only to change it, it's very easy. You just hit enter and then down. But we are on to the third level. Alright, so I'm actually going to get a first objective here while I botch this landing, most likely. I'm trying to land directly on that shiny spot right there on the ground, and if I do that correctly, even if it's a botched landing, I can pick up the item, and this cutscene starts. It's on a timer, so it'll only happen, you know, it happens the exact same amount of time after you pick up your first item, regardless of where you're located. So by doing that, I was able to just pick it up really easily. Switch to my grenades, and I'm going to run over to the next one right here. Got it. That blast doesn't really matter too much. We only take 1 damage from it, not a big deal. This is the third one right here. And then we're going to go onto the roof for the fourth one, which is actually going to be a rocket launcher. Unfortunately, you have to get all 4 of these in order for the rocket launcher to be there. It will always be on the last one that you pick up. Alright, so alright, so we want to do that. Just get to the, we only have to shoot it 3 times and we're good. So once that tank is dead, you're going to run over to the left here and ignore all these enemies, pick up some health that's on the ground in my path. Oop, lost a little bit of health. Ugh, wow, I'm getting attacked a little bit bad. Not a big deal though. Run up here, jump on top of these boxes, and hopefully get over this. There we go. That saves having to fight a bunch of enemies. I can just get my rockets out here, do that, and then load a checkpoint. Very nice. Very easy. So I blew up that section there. Back in the air above where I first started, however, I'm going to be coming over here. It's faster to do this because you don't have to run like in this pathway or the maze or anything like that that you normally would have to go through. So just going to land here. I kill this guy real quick. Oh, please die. I'm going to switch to this, come out here, fire on the ground. Shoot that. Kill this guy, whoop. Just trying to maintain good control over my ammo and everything like that, and kill these guys as quickly as possible. More ammo over here. That's for stick grenades. Ooh, ooh. Ouch. There's health right here that I'm going to pick up because these guys are being very violent right now. I'm actually going to use this in an effort to stem the violence. And shoot the roof up there to finish clearing out the enemies there. Now very next, I'm going to walk out here. I'm on the ground there, hopefully kill both of these guys. Looks like he did. Alright. And now I'm going to run over here. Going to jump on top of this barrel, on top of this, and up here. And what that does is it skips having to wait for that gate to open. And so I'm able to actually go and get some health and everything like that before this next door opens up, which I'm waiting for. I'm not going to run through here with the Thompson because there are a lot of enemies and they can just block you. Nope. So there's a couple of things to note about this slow motion. First of all is you have infinite ammo in whatever weapon that you are upgrading, and second of all you are completely invincible to any damage, so it's very useful in that regard. So that was pretty good there. Once again, another cutscene, and then you're going to get to the hardest part and the last 2 objectives of this level. Alright, so I actually managed to get through there without any health damage at all, or health loss at all rather, which is very useful and pretty rare actually. So I don't have to worry too much about enemies here. Rarely they'll take out a full health like that, most of the time they do not. Just gonna cook a grenade, toss it on the ground there to kind of hopefully kill some of those guys. And now my goal is to completely clear out this. Alright, I was actually able to upgrade that weapon, which is really nice. And because I shot there, all the enemies that are down here kind of just file into a row, and they all like run up to getting ready to just be killed essentially. So very nice. Alright, that was quite good of a clear. Gonna ignore these guys. Hopefully I don't get killed or shot too much here rather. There are some bad enemies locations, but we seem to have a pretty good situation here. Alright. Once again, another shot there. It's going pretty good. Once again, firing the rocket lures all the enemies. Oop, don't want to let that guy kill me. Oop, as soon as it says Pilgox is secured, I'm done with that level, and I'm able to reload checkpoint once again to skip the ending cutscene. So that was very good. I believe a world record Neptune, actually. So now we're on to Market Garden. I have a ton of time to save here, but that doesn't really matter so much. I'm trying to do as much commentary as possible. So I recently rerouted this level pretty well. So I should be able to save a good chunk of time, like I said. Alright, so first things first, we're actually going to be landing on this level here. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out a way to grease my landing on this, so I have to hope for a flared landing at best, which is just awful. Flared landing, yay, okay. That's not too bad. So now I'm just going to wait for that guy to go by, and then drop down here. Now I've got a couple of objectives to do here. Kill that guy, grab that grenade ammo, kill this guy. Oop, run through here, kill this guy, make sure to enter the room, switch to my new grenades that I just picked up for this level. Alright, this is bad. So unfortunately, I had a bad location there, so now I'm just placing those grenades on the ground there to kill the tank, and then I'm going to reload checkpoint. That's about the best that I could do with that. I kind of got stuck on a guy, and I wasn't going to be able to get to the tank in time from the normal path, so that's kind of a backup strategy. So now I'm going to take out 3 pieces of invisible hardware because of the draw distance, and then we're going to be continuing on with killing some more equipment and stuff like that. I'm going to switch to the sniper, first time using it in the run here. Actually being able to see that piece of hardware there is actually really nice. And then oop. There we go. Took a couple shots, but it's okay. Taking out that. So now I'm going to drop down here, take down as many enemies as possible without taking too much damage. Doesn't matter how much damage I take, as long as I don't actually die. So that, come on, kill this guy. And unfortunately these guys came upstairs, so they kind of ruined my objective. There we go. As soon as the objective is complete though, I can once again reload checkpoint. And this does a huge strat. This saves a bunch of time. It basically deloads a ton of enemies but 5, and puts me right on the ground right next to where those 5 enemies are. I'm just going to run through here, take this guy out first. That guy kind of ran away, that was really weird. He usually does not do that. Not a big deal though. Just trying to kill all 5 of these guys here. Yep, and looks like my Marines killed one of them, which is nice. Alright, get into the smoke grenade and just wait for a cutscene to activate. Doing pretty good now. So this is a pretty gruesome cutscene. You don't actually see anything specific, but basically this tank is going to kill these two guys, and then it's going to run over, well, one of them is alive, actually, still. The other one dies. And the tank runs over him. You don't actually see it, but you get to hear the horror in his voice, which is pretty awful. Ugh, you can kind of hear the squish as well. Really bad. Alright, I'm going to stand up here, come over here, and I'm just going to toss 5 grenades to destroy that tank. It only takes 4, but I do 5 just to be safe, because sometimes the 4th one gets knocked away or something like that and doesn't actually destroy it, in which case the tank will look at you and shoot you before you can blow up another grenade. Alright, just getting here to activate the next cutscene, and we are almost done with the level. Just one more objective after this cutscene to destroy another tank. This can be kind of iffy of a section, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so as soon as I'm back in control, I'm just going to jump up here and sprint jump over to there. Now I'm just going to continue over here and ignore everybody that I can, run around the left here. Should be a guy with a rocket, which I'm going to kill. And then I'm going to pick up the rockets here, switch to grenades, jump up on this railing here, and then I'm going to actually kind of do some out of bounds here. Hopefully I don't die from these guys. It's very possible that I'll die still because of that rocket hitting me direct on. But I think I'm good. Cool. Yeah, once I make it to here, I'm pretty good. Just gonna walk out onto here, do this. Just taking out the rocket. And last grenade, blows it up, reload checkpoint, bunch of time save, not too bad. I can definitely save more there. That was actually a little bit of a slow market garden, unfortunately, but no big deal. Now we're on to Varsity. Switch weapons once again. I did some repathing for this level, but it turned out not to be really an improvement, so I'm going to go back to the old pathing here. However, I have figured out how to improve a little bit. Alright. So this level has the most objectives out of all of them that we actually complete. So hopefully it goes well. This run is pretty much going to rely on the very next level. However, it can go bad, it can go good, depending on what happens here. Anyway, just going to land, take out those two guys, and place a charge immediately after. Okay. Ignore all the enemies here, jump off this railing, drop down, and place another charge. Whoop. Unfortunately, I got shot once there. Knocked me out of the animation. I'm getting shot again. It's just bad luck to get shot there. The enemies usually don't, but they do every once in a while. Alright, so I'm just going to ignore these guys. I'm actually going to be reloading checkpoint pretty soon, without very much risk to myself, so it's not a big deal if I take a little bit of damage. Alright, going to run in here. Going to do a skip on this level. Just going to sprint and jump over that gap there, and that actually saves quite a bit of time having to run around. I'm going to drop down here, shoot the red thing real quick to blow it up, and then jump out of that window and over here to place this charge. Alright. Once that is done, I'm going to reload checkpoints to get back in the air, and going to be moving on to the last 4 objectives before, well, the last 4 objectives of this section of the level. Alright, the next one is just a nice little 180 here. Alright, I'm going to switch to my grenades here. This grenade is very useful because it can blow up stuff that you'd normally have to use a charge to blow up, and it seems to be quite under-leveled, so I'm going to be making sure not to use it up too much. Alright. So I'm just going to come in here, toss one on the ground, and just run past that section there. Alright. So now I've got 3 more objectives here. Hopefully this section goes well. I'm going to run up this ladder, jump across here, and place a charge. Okay, good. Now I'm going to run over here, aim in a particular spot, and toss the grenade. And what that should hopefully do is blow it up, which it did. Very nice. Now hopefully I don't get shot too much here. It's possible to get shot out of this, but should not happen too much. There we go. As soon as that's placed, I'm good. I'm going to run towards the next section. Alrighty. Very nice. To move through here, I've got quite a bit of health, so hopefully this section doesn't go too bad. Alright. That was an okay grenade. This is actually a pretty good time to get a level up. That's my weapon maxing out completely. Once again, infinite ammo and everything like that, which is pretty useful. Plus, I have a bit larger clip now. Ooh, really do not want to get killed here. That would be very bad. So I'm going to be kind of careful. Okay, and this guy, and there should be one more guy right down here. Alright, that's it for this section. I'm going to have those 2 guys right there. Once they come out, they're heading over to this area. That means all the enemies have been cleared that I need to clear. And another cutscene is going to start. Very nice. And we're pretty much done with this level at this point. There's 3 more objectives to do, but they are very easy, very, very low risk. And then I'm going to be done with this level. This is the only level that after completing the last objective, I can't just immediately reload checkpoint. I have to wait a little while, which is unfortunate, but not a huge deal at all. Alright. Alright, I'm going to keep out my assault rifle here because I have to kill this one guy right here just to get past him a little bit easier. Then I can switch over to my grenades. Alright, place the first charge. Turn around, head to charge number 2. Getting shot is very unfortunate in this section, but not a big deal at all. It's like I said, there's very low risk of actually dying here. Okay, get through here and place this charge. Very nice. And now with that, I am just waiting for the cutscene to start, which is right there. I can load last checkpoint. Bam. Very nice time save. That's just really good. Alright, this is the final level now. Going to see how well it goes. Weapons actually don't matter on this level. All that matters is one type of grenade. I'm going to skip the vast majority of this level. This is the only level where you can skip every single objective, aside from, the very last one. And it's very, very nice, and it looks pretty cool as well. So you can actually stop this flip from happening, but it doesn't really matter too much. I don't think it really affects how fast you fall down. It might affect it a little bit. Really don't know. Alright, so I'm just going to land here. Make sure to get a ton of ammo. And hopefully my weapon is well close to being upgraded. It is not, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to do a little bit here to kind of hopefully upgrade my weapon a little bit. I might have died a little bit soon there, which would really suck if it happened. I believe it did happen, so we'll see what happens. Having to reload here means I'm going to actually lose time no matter what, regardless of whether I save my weapon or not, which I didn't, unfortunately. I was trying to destroy an objective, which would allow me to... Alright, that should hopefully not... Nice, okay. Cool. So this next one, I'm just going to be able to jump down, and we'll be done with the level. This is a world record run right here. Very good. Sub 37, I believe. Unfortunately, not sub 36, which it definitely had the possibility of being, because of, you know, the first level and everything, like, or aside from, you know, the first and second level. Alright, so now this is essentially upgraded weapon. I'm actually just going to run past all the enemies here. Oop, as best I can, Jesus. Turn around, cook that grenade just a little bit, jump off. It will kill somebody right before I land on the ground, which actually causes me to survive. In this area, you're not supposed to be able to survive down here or get here in any way, but I'm able to and easily get out of bounds, which is very nice. Now I'm just going to run all the way to the end of the level, out of bounds pretty much, and then hop back in bounds for the final trigger. So it's sub 37 run, pretty good, especially for a commentary run where I'm not completely focusing on the run itself and I'm trying to think about what to say next and everything. This is somewhat of a new strat here. I'm going to jump up here, here, out of bounds, or back in bounds rather, pick this up, and do the trigger. Very nice. It's very close to sub 37. It actually might not be sub 37. I lost quite a bit of time. Quite a bit of time on this level, which is quite unfortunate, but not much I could do about it. My grenade wasn't nearly as upgraded as I would have liked, so not quite sub 37. I'm kind of disappointed, but not too big of a deal. 37:05. Not bad at all. Can save another full minute on it at least, plus some time on Avalanche and Husky. Market Garden could go a little bit faster, but still pretty good.
I believe it is because of the tenacity, the skill, and the guts of the Airborne that America has triumphed. The dedication and supreme sacrifice exhibited by these soldiers makes me proud and honored to be a member of the Airborne.